Are you looking to grow your business and increase your brand visibility? Become a sponsor with the Girl Talk Sports Talk podcast. Our sponsorship opportunities offer you a unique chance to connect with our dedicated fan base and community. Let us help you elevate your business name and reach new heights. Contact Melina or Mikayla today to learn more about how you can get involved and make a lasting impact. Join us and watch your business thrive.
Happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday. It is the first Friday of October. It's October. Um, and hockey is officially back. So I'm a happy girl.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Friday, October 4th. It is actually our 20th podcast, and we are celebrating it
Ah,
today by
showing our
going
lovely
live on
faces.
YouTube. You get to see our faces, and we can't assure you that we're going to be on every podcast. But we can assure you, you will see our faces more often than you have in the past. So, what girl, college game day. They're going to Cali. They're going back to Cali, to
That's
Cali,
exciting.
um, for
It's
Miami.
a West Coast versus East Coast, isn't it?
Yes, 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 and that's exciting. Both of our teams, girl, they're resting for the
They
big game
are
next
because
week.
next week.
Beach, please. Beach, please. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Um, but it's crazy because they never both get buys.
At
Like
the same
that
time,
doesn't,
yeah.
they don't do that. So I guess they're really, really hyping this one up, which is super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, AP poll.
Also, yeah, I was gonna say, unfortunately, I'm not a happy girl.
Alabama is number one. Texas, we're
Ugh.
only going to go through the top 20. For those that like to keep up with college sports going into game day tomorrow, we got Alabama at number one, Texas at number two, Ohio State at number three, Tennessee Vols, who beat my Sooners recently at four, Georgia is number five, Oregon is six, Penn State seven, Miami is eight. They are playing in Cali tomorrow on Saturday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, which would be like
9:30
9:30
Central.
ours
Yeah, that's
Central.
late.
That is late, girl. I'll be asleep. It'll be watching me. I'll find out in the morning, Sunday morning. Missouri's number nine. My big blue Michigan is number 10. USC is number 11. Ole Miss number 12, LSU number 13, Notre Dame number 14, Clemson's number 15, Iowa State number 16. Woo, BYU number 17. You notice we haven't said Oklahoma yet, right?
Yep.
Number 18 is Utah. Number 19 is OU. Yay. And then number 20 is Kansas State. But one of the things is it's crazy is that we're only moving up a little bit and it makes me crazy to do that. Here my
But
guys are trying so
but it's
hard.
also crazy because we have more wins right now in the SEC and we're number two. Like we have more wins than Alabama.
Don't be hating on my Alabama. I do like me some
No,
Alabama.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
It's okay, Grasshopper. This is what makes it all fun.
No,
It's
because it makes
all
no sense.
okay. Before we get into your hockey, because there's a lot to catch up on, we always got to save that for the last because
And I will
that's
yap
the
and
thing.
yap and yap.
Yeah, yeah. So, Caitlin Clark broke another record. She got 66 of the 67 WNBA Rookie of the Year votes.
Holy
So
smokes. Who got the other one? The one single vote,
it wasn't Caitlin. So
obviously.
she had out of 66 people, I mean 67 people, she had one little hater that said no. And you know what? I don't know. I haven't read up. I don't know anything about it, but I wonder if that's the one that's for Angel Reese. Like if that's the one that said, you know what, I'm not giving it to Caitlin, I'm gonna give it to
Yeah.
Angel, you know. So Congratulations to her. She has undeniably, whether
Yeah.
you like her or don't, which really nobody should not have a reason not to like her, but if they don't, she has made a name for the
Oh,
WNBA.
100%.
Yeah, and college basketball in itself for women. So, congratulations to her. Okay, let's talk about your sport.
My sport. So today, the New Jersey Devils kick off the NHL season by playing in Prague in the Global Series. They are playing the Buffalo Sabres, who've actually been in Europe for the last maybe week or so, playing a European team. Uh, but the New Jersey Devils go against Buffalo today at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, so 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is when puck drop is, and it's so exciting. One, because I think the Global Series is just exciting to begin with. They've been in Prague since Sunday night,
So almost a week.
almost a week, almost a week. And they've practiced, and they had like a day or two of, I think a day and a half of sightseeing, which is cool. Um, but they've been practicing, and from a few different sources, they are feeling good, which is exciting because they didn't have that great of a season last year. So I think they're hoping to hopefully start off with a bang. In
Good.
Prague, they play twice. Today at 12 Central, and then tomorrow, Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then they'll come home and rest for a little bit, and then their home opener is October 10th, I believe. Um, so this will officially kick off the NHL season. A lot of the other teams, I would say not, like the other 30 teams, have some last minute preseason games happening this weekend. Not a lot, just a handful. Dallas played their last preseason game last night.
Whoop whoop.
Um,
And I see that you are wearing the greatest city in the hockey
I
world's
am.
jersey.
I am. I don't know if you can
I'm
tell.
just saying, yeah,
I
representing
am.
my, and I'm representing too the Cowboys. So there we go. See,
Look at
Dallas
that.
Cowboys winning.
That's exciting. And then also another reason that's super excited for the first game of the season is Seamus Casey, who is on the New Jersey Devils, who will be making his NHL debut today, which one, it's always really cool to see these young guys make their NHL debut. Just because you can see, one, it takes a lot of work to get to this level. Um, but also they get kind of their own moment to shine. Every rookie who debuts for the NHL will basically take a rookie lap. So he will be able to take his rookie lap in Prague. Um, and what's really cool about Casey is he was drafted in the Devils in 2022 in the second round. But then he chose to close out his college career at University of Michigan. So he
Oh,
spent he spent the
no
last 2 years
way.
playing for the Wolverines, which was also very fun because his buddy Luke Hughes, who's also a defenseman on the Devils, was also his teammate at University of Michigan.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think it's really cool for them. And Luke made his debut not last season, but the season before, the very, very last game of regular season, Luke Hughes made his debut, which was awesome. And then he played all of the playoff run. So I think it's going to be really cool for those two guys to be on the ice again together. But yeah, so then hockey is officially like it's here. It's here.
It's here. It made it. It made it around again for you. It made it around the
It
season to
did.
get to you, to get you excited and happy and in your happy place.
It is. It really is.
I love it. And you've been watching pretty much every night, right? Like you've
Oh
been
yeah.
happy. Yeah, you get
Yeah.
to keep up with it. Yes. Very
Especially with
good.
the Victory app, which is great. So far,
Victory.
preseason has the Victory app has really like shown itself during preseason. So I'm excited to see how it does during like the actual season.
you're just gonna be one happy camper for the whole season of getting
I
to watch
am.
all kinds of
I
hockey that
am.
you want to watch. I
I get
love
my
it.
ESPN, I get my Hulu Live TV, and I get my Victory app.
You're good. You're good. You can just stay inside and you're good, right?
Exactly.
Okay, our last topic for sports today. Okay, you're younger than me.
hmm
You know who Pete Rose is, though, correct?
He was a baseball player, in the 70s,
70s, 80s. Yeah, I
70s,
believe
80s,
70s. Yeah, 70s, 80s. Old. He's old.
who actually just passed away this past Monday.
Yes. Okay, yes. So he just passed away, but um he is one of the greatest ever to play the sport of baseball. I
But
mean,
there's
undeniably.
there's some
Um,
controversy about him.
correct. There is some controversy. He had made some really big mistakes in the past. Um, and I'm going to be obviously rest in peace, Pete Rose. But he was banned from baseball due to betting back in the day and lifetime ban. And but yet he was an amazing baseball player. So it was just a really, really bad deal. But he was caught and I mean, and he served his sentence. He did, all of that, but
So wait, why was he
he
banned?
for betting on baseball games. It was a huge,
Interesting.
huge controversy. Um, but he was the all-time hits leader. I mean, he was one
Oh
of the
wow.
great. I mean, he was an amazing um athlete in the
hmm
baseball world, and his one regret was shaming his family name when he got
Yeah.
busted, and then never being able to make it to the Hall of Fame. And his dream was to be recognized at the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
And he wrote a letter to their commissioner and asking for forgiveness and could he be considered and all of the things. And of course, it's a very controversial topic in the sports
Yeah.
world because some people feel like yes, he should be forgiven and given because he made a mistake, yes, but that doesn't take away
What he
his
did for the sport.
his athleticism. What he did outside of that, yes, is not right. So I do, me personally, see both sides of it. Um, I see where, okay, we got to hold them to a higher standard. But at the end of the day, they're still humans. Athletes are still
Yeah.
human beings. Priests, and I'm just using this example, are still human beings. Teachers are still human beings. Policemen are still. So when we put that kind of, I feel like it's unfair, undue. Um, don't show him any grace. No, you're never. It doesn't take away the fact that he was still one of the best baseball players ever.
Yeah.
So it's a really big sports topic right now in the baseball community. Um, so just something to think about. But you're not supposed to
Interesting.
bet on baseball. You're not supposed to bet on your team
I
or
don't think you're
against your
supposed to bet
team.
on your team regardless if you're a player.
So there you go. But
Interesting.
Pete Rose passed away. He led a good life um,
The
despite his
bad
challenges.
deeds.
He died 35 years after he signed an agreement and wrote that he was banned from baseball for life. 35 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So rest in peace to one of the greatest. He did good stuff. He made a lot of mistakes, but he also did good stuff. So, but now I think we need a message from our sponsor.
Want to know what's going on in Corpus Christi? Make sure you check out cceventscalendar.com. That holds all of the events going on for the entire month. New are added daily. And again, that is cceventscalendar.com. All right. And then, so for a little mental health moment, today, it is actually not so much talking about like a specific thing, that you can do to help your mental health. It is actually, kind of like an announcement, or a
Yes.
PSA. For all those who don't know, October
Wait,
is,
give our disclaimer. Give our little disclaimer.
but we're not teaching
Well, I
anything.
know. Okay, so our disclaimer is we are mental cases. We are not mental experts. We know what to deal with. We know our own challenges. We want to make it safe and comfortable for people to talk amongst their private peers and family about any struggles. And so we find that mental health is a hard subject for people unless you're in a trusted circle. And so we try to bring some awareness about it. So go ahead.
All that to say, October is Mental Awareness Month, which is um kind of the month where um big organizations like WHO and then Mental Health America aim to raise awareness and improve mental health care, which is essentially what having this little spot on the podcast is about. But what is cool is that they do a theme every year. And this year, I think it's aptively appropriate that it's mental health at work.
Woo! That is where a lot of our mental health is for
No,
the
it
average
really
person
is.
is tested
It
because
really is.
mentally mental health at work is a whole, in my opinion, is a whole nother beast
Oh
because
yeah.
when you're at work, you're not supposed to be dealing with private issues or things going on at home. But if you have an ill family member, or you just, someone just passed away, or you're having financial troubles, or you're having car troubles, or you're any of kinds of those, it really makes it hard when you're at work to focus on things that are at work. And then when you get to work, your mental health has to shift to the fact that maybe you have 10 or 20 coworkers or female coworkers that you struggle with, or men, or,
Yeah.
just whatever. If you're in a customer service position, if you're in public relations and you have to be out in the public eye, that's a big mental health game. I mean, it
Yeah.
really is. You have to just turn it on.
It's fake it till you make it. But on the World Health Organization, WHO is basically what I said earlier. They are uniting with partners to highlight the vital connections between mental health and work. Safe and healthy working environments can act as a protective factor for mental health. Unhealthy conditions include stigma, discrimination, and exposures to risks like harassment and other poor working conditions can pose significant risks affecting mental health, overall quality of life, and consequently participation or productivity at work. With 60% of the global population in work, urgent action is needed to ensure work prevent risk to mental health and protects and supports mental health at work. And so some of their key messages for this year's theme, mental health and work are closely linked. So a supportive work environment fosters mental health, providing purpose and stability, but poor can't talk. Working conditions can harm mental well-being, reducing both job satisfaction and productivity. Um, Wider impact on work and society, training managers to support mental health, which I think is a huge thing. Stigma creates barriers to employment, supporting workers to participate and thrive in work and taking care of your own mental health. And then government action and collaboration are essential. So I will say the World Health Organization World Mental Health Day 2024 site they have is a huge help, and especially if you want to learn more kind of about that. Um, that's there. And yeah, no, mental health and work it does coincide very well, not very well, but like closely with
Mhm.
each other.
Mhm.
Um, And I'm speaking from experience who had really bad mental health while I was at a really toxic work environment. This one's definitely hitting a little close to home. But then also, October is not just mental health awareness, but October 5th is National Depression Screening Day. So basically, they are encouraging people to go get screened for depression. And then, while October is the Mental Health Awareness Month, World Mental Health Day is October 10th.
Well, and the thing is with mental health, there was a, as I remind listeners, I'm way older than you. Um, there was a time in the workforce that you didn't talk about your mental health. You didn't talk
Yeah,
about breaks needed. You didn't talk because you were looked at as the weaker person, or you felt like you were being judged or that it was being held against you. I
yeah,
think that over the course of time that we've been able to start addressing it, but I think that 2020, when we all went through COVID and being locked in
yeah,
and lack of interaction with friends and family, I had some friends that were really sticklers about getting around people. Like they wouldn't be around people because they did not want to get sick and they didn't want to expose their family and things like that,
hmm
right? And so I feel like, and I know that it's statistically and scientifically been proven that a lot of effects were done to people's mental health during that time
Oh
frame in
yeah.
which there was lockdowns and things like
I
that.
mean, yeah, you're locked in a house with only the people in your house, for,
Did you
weeks at a
ever
time.
think like that is, I can't even imagine going back to that, but it was just a shift differential. I mean, it was just a change
It
in people's
was.
environments and mental psyches because these kids were going to school and hanging out with their friends and going to lunches
Yeah, and then all of a
and
sudden
and
they're
then of
being
course
told they
it
have to learn
stops.
from laptops. Yeah.
Learn online and then just look at social media to interact with your friends. It
hmm
was so mental health. I used to not be comfortable talking about it. I am now because I've gotten to a place in that I am not ashamed to admit that women and men struggle. Depression is a huge, we hear about suicides all the time because people get in that place of depression and they don't know how to fight. They don't have the tools necessary, or maybe they don't have the coping mechanisms to be able to reach out and things like that. So if they're offering screenings in your areas, if you know about it, please get tested. If you are diagnosed with depression, it's not a bad thing. It is, you're identifying the problem so that you can find the solutions to. I know there's been times that I have been depressed and literally I can tell it. I can tell it in my demeanor, in my personality, in all of it. Um, and yet some people, you never see depression on them because they hide it so well. So but depression's chemical imbalance. It's the foods you eat, it's the sodas you drink, it's the alcohol, it's the all of that. So triggering in and trying to find what things are triggering your depression is always good.
Yeah. And on that note, she did say if you are interested in getting screened for depression, World Health Organization and Mental Health America are the great places to start on where to find your local screening opportunities. Um,
Yes, ma'am.
but real quick, before we go to our next hot topic, a quick word from our sponsors.
Texas, it's time to shine. Get registered before the deadline. October 7th, don't delay. Early voting starts the 21st day. November 5th is election day. Head to votetexas.gov without delay or call 1-800-252-VOTE. Let's get you ready to cast your note.
Okay, so these dang port closures are making everybody act like there's a dang hurricane or we're in COVID all over again.
Okay, so let's talk about the port closures. So, number one, they did suspend the
Strike.
closure. of the ports till January 15th, which I think is a good thing.
Hmm.
Um, right now is not the time for the world to shut down again. Ports being closed, and what's the deal? Some people didn't understand it. I know that I didn't understand it completely. Corpus is not union, and so the port of Corpus Christi would not have shut down, and it didn't shut down because it's not union, it's government. Um, and so it wasn't affected. But the ports are basically huge. The easiest way to explain it is it's huge shopping malls in the ocean that those ships are going to deliver sneakers to snacks, giant Amazon delivery center on the water. That's, I mean, that's basically what you're looking at, right? And if that port was to stay closed, or these ports were to stay closed, it's as if a mall suddenly shut down. So then it would have affected our Christmases. It would have affected our all of the things. And you just said it a minute ago. People went out and panic bought toilet paper
Toilet
this
paper,
past week.
water, like
Okay,
bananas,
toilet
like
paper is made in
everything.
America. So just so that everybody knows that if the ports close, there's no reason to go raid HEP. There's
Yeah,
none. There's
I had
none.
coworkers say that like their parents like had gone to HB for like a simple item and all of a sudden there's nothing on the shelves.
Yeah, and so, obviously some of the cons of um the ports closing would be empty shelves, the big ticket items for Christmases, phones, snacks,
Game
um,
stations, yeah.
yeah, all of the things, right? Higher prices, because if there's less stuff, what does that
It
mean? That
costs
means
more.
it's going to you're going to pay a little more if you want that same soda or that same PlayStation. You're going to pay more because there's not a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
um Basically, a good example is if there's one pizza left in town, who's going to bid for it? Like, who's going to buy the pizza?
Yeah.
Jobs, people working at ports, truck drivers, even the person selling the sneakers, they have much to do with the goods. They can't do much if their goods aren't moving. It's like a
Yeah.
snowball effect. And so I'm glad fewer shipments equals fewer jobs, but I'm glad that I don't care where the finger pointing goes, but as a society as a whole, America cannot, we are not in the position right now to deal with something like that. People every day are struggling. And so to make it further, difficult for them is not fair. Um, it would slow us down, the economy. Didn't we
Hmm.
go through that 4 years ago? And we're
Yeah,
still
with
trying to
COVID.
recover, right? We're still, and it's like trying to play dodgeball with no one throwing the ball. It just kind of makes it pointless. Now, there's always silver linings, and we know this. Less, it would give the environment a break, right? It'd be less big ships, which means fewer pollution problems. Don't really care if it's Christmas and I'm trying to get gifts, right, for my
Yeah.
delivered and things like that. Um, More time. Okay, so this is a benefit, and this is really something I want to encourage people, whether the ports stay open, which they are till January 15th, or not. But it would have made it, if they wouldn't have opened it back up, that would depend on us. That would make society depend on local and shopping local. So if fewer imported goods, maybe more local businesses would get the money that go to corporate giants, right?
Hmm.
Um, so it would be a benefit, but that's really the only benefit. Um, Other than sometimes a break makes people think, what can we do better? When ports are closed, the government and businesses can think how to fix the logistics to avoid future shutdowns. And I know it was money based and benefits, and I didn't really understand like everything it was talking about. I just knew that it wasn't a good thing because it's not helping solve the problem. It's creating more problems for us as a nation
Yeah.
that we don't need. We don't need it. We have enough
We have enough
turmoil.
problems going on right now. We don't need the
We got
ports
99
closed.
problems, and a port closed shouldn't be one of them, right? I mean, is my thing. The economy is like, I guess, like and I read it somewhere where it's like game of Jenga, and each block, the goods, the jobs, the money, depend on others to stay stable. Well, the ports are a huge block. So it's like that block that's right in the middle on Jenga, and it's really tight, and you're trying to pull it out because you don't want to knock it all over. And when they close, you're pulling that out, the tower wobbles because it may slow everything down, right?
Mhm.
Um, so to me, I'm thankful that they reopened them until January 15th to give them kind of a cooling off period. Everybody chill out. Let's keep focused. Because some of those, I can't think of the title of their job. They're making crazy money. And there
Yeah,
wasn't more, which I'm not. I will never say people don't need raises, but do you need it right this second to help destroy the economy, or can you
yeah,
just hold tight till we get through it? Because there's many people that don't have jobs, there's many people that don't have a car or homes to live in. Look at North Carolina right now, and over there where the hurricane hit, we've got people that have lost everything. No telling if
yeah,
their insurance, if they had insurance. If they didn't have insurance, that's one thing, but if they had insurance, is there insurance? So it's just all of that. So I was really,
yeah.
really glad last night when I found out that they had
Come to a
moved it,
deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
to January. So,
And I feel like you could probably talk about this for a little bit longer, but we do have to start wrapping it up here.
yay.
So real quick before we head on out, today in sports, in 1955, the Brooklyn Dodgers win their first ever World Series, with a 2-0 victory against arch rival New York Yankees in Game 7.
Yankees. Yankees.
So,
Yankees.
um, there is your today in sports. As always, if you like listening to us, please, please, please like us on Spotify and YouTube. Subscribe to the channels. Um, and you will be actually seeing more of us.
We've survived our first one this morning on Friday morning. We might change it up a little bit by the next time. We'll surprise you. Maybe we'll, just you never know with Mikayla and Melina. You just never know. We might have Mikayla wearing a cowboy hat the next time. We don't know. We'll see what
I
what
don't know
it
about that. Um, but
is.
and then as always, it is Friday night in Corpus, so Art Walk is tonight.
Art
Uh,
walk, art
and it
walk.
is a Halloween. Oh, actually, I don't know if it's Halloween themed, but it's October, so I feel like it should be. So make sure you go check it out there. And this is Mikayla.
This is Melina.
And remember, sports are for girls too.
Whoop whoop.